65% of the people on this call, that's 2 out of 3 people on this call, take 30 minutes or longer, okay, to do all this stuff. And actually, like I said, those numbers are skewed. It's usually even more percentage take 30 minutes or longer, right? And honestly, look at all this list of stuff. To do all this in 30 minutes is pretty quick, honestly. To install your favorite theme, configure that theme, set up the privacy, set up the permalink, set up your sidebar, install your 3 favorite plugins, delete the Hello World post and comment, fix the footer, set up the categories, and set up the pages. Yeah, if you're doing that in 30 minutes, that's pretty fast. But like I said, 65% of people take 30 minutes or longer, and 14% of people take 2 hours or longer, and a lot of people take 1 hour or longer on that. When I install WordPress, there are certain pages that I always create for each new WordPress that I install, okay? And there are always the same plugins that I use. Plugins such as the All-in-One SEO plugin, Flash Video plugin, right? Psychic Search plugin I like to use, the Google Analytics I like to use, the XML sitemap I like to use. These are plugins that I use over and over and over again. Supercache is another plugin that I use all the way through, okay? There's those plugins I use, and I always set the same permalink structure, like I said to you before, and I always set the footer the same. I put the same information in each footer, and there's always themes that I use over and over again, as you'll see in the coming slides ahead. But for example, this is a thesis theme, okay? This is a thesis theme, and you see it already has a Contact Us page, which I always use, an About Us page, which I always use, a free gift thing, which I almost always use, a resources page, which I always use, which usually has links to my product or to affiliate products. I always do a name capture that I have to set up on each page, right? And I always have a category called Personal, and I'm always going to use a sidebar widget called Resources, right? And you also see the footer is done below, copyright 2010, and then it'll just be the name of the site. The name of the site's default WordPress, but it would be whatever I named it when I set it up. Has a link to the help desk, the privacy policy, and the disclaimer, and already has a default post in there that I almost always use, okay? Okay, just to give you an idea of how to configure Thesis. This is what Thesis looks like. Thesis options, okay? I want you to see this. Document head, title tag, no index, archive, thesis version, canonical URLs, custom style sheets, set feed URL, header scripts, footer scripts, homepage meta, homepage display, display options, look at all these, navigation menu, look at all these, post images and thumbnails, look at all these. Oh, we're just starting, by the way. Thesis options, okay? Look at all these fonts and font sizes, navigational menus, blah, 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 site layout. I have to configure these manually each time I install Thesis. Okay? I love Thesis, though, so I put up with it, okay? Now, check this out. Not only that, for each theme that I install, I always have certain categories I use, and I always have certain plugins, like I said, that I use, okay? I can set this up in a second, basically, okay? I can clone this default setting now and use it whenever I wish to for all my new stuff that I install in the future. So anytime I want to install Thesis in the future, I can do all this now in a second. All I do is one very simple thing. Okay, so I log in to my server where I have my domain at, right, which is at jasonfladlien.org, and you know that because up here it says jasonfladlien.org, right? So this is under the directory webinar-replay, so I just find that in here. It's under public HTML, right? Webinar replay, and all I have to do is upload one file, all right? I upload this one file, and let me actually get to there in my computer so I don't have to bounce around. Okay, here is the file that I upload. It's called wptwin.php. And I know it's uploaded in the right place, but if it has all these WP files. So I just drag and drop that, right? Boom. I just drag and drop that. You see that? Done. All right, so then what do I do next? Wherever my blog is located that I want to make a perfect replica of, I just simply type in wptwin.php. Boom. And it says create your clone. Now watch this. Click to clone this site. And it's done. Did you see how fast that was? Okay. And then download file to your computer. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this file. So I've downloaded this to my computer, and so since I downloaded it to my computer, I'm going to delete this from my server, the clone itself from the server, and I'm done. Okay? Did you see how long that took? That is really cool, isn't it? Let's do this again in real time. All right, somebody start the clock on how long it's going to take me to do this clone. When I say go, somebody time it. Go. Okay, stop. Clone is finished. I don't really care how big your clone is. That's about how long it took. That took me 3 seconds. Okay? It could take you 10 seconds. Okay, maybe 15 seconds. It's never taken me more than 15 seconds. Okay? Not to create the clone. And then you download it. The downloading it will take you a while, but you don't have to do that. Okay? And again, it really only matters basically if you have like 50,000 plugins or whatever. Your real time is you're waiting for it to download and so on. That's it. But all you got to do is have this one WP Twin file uploaded, then put it on the end of whatever your URL is.